Hey, it's the Poor Sports Seattle podcast. This is Casey McLean, and we're down one comedian roundtable member for a little bit until Corey gets to
That's
his
not what you said.
microphone. What
You
did
were
I? What
saying
did
you
I?
wanted to test it out with just us to see if
Yeah,
we
that's
could
true.
actually cut Corey out because he's not
That's
that
true. Well, we'll
funny.
see. Well, it'll be a real indictment of if he never shows up, it's because we decided we can live without him forever.
I like your new background there. You finally got serious about a spot, and then you kicked off a founding member.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. No, I'm hopefully I ordered a Seattle Seahawks championship banner for back here. They make one that's fucking huge, by the way, that I'm still considering ordering. It's I've ordered in the last couple days a lot of Seahawks merch stuff, like the championship merch. And have you ordered any of that, by the way?
No, the problem with merch is that there's always someone. Were you talking to me about the spring training hats, or maybe it was someone
Oh
else?
no, I
The
think it was
Cactus
somebody else.
League and Aaron, I think, and
Aaron Wrighton, double A for some reason they call him
yeah,
that.
and I was like, oh, those are sick, but I'm also like, what am I gonna do with 75 hats now? It's
Sure.
just there's too much merch. Plus, I'm saving money to buy the team, so I think if we start a GoFundMe, I forget. I have to look up. I'm not gonna look it up, but someone calculated like if this many people put $88,000, we can be the Packers and we can own the team ourselves. I was like, that's never gonna happen.
Yeah, dude,
Elon Musk is gonna buy it, so.
I went to Lambeau 2 years ago when I was at Skyline the first time, which is in Appleton, 30 miles outside of Green Bay.
I've done that
They,
drive when I've been booked there too. Yeah.
yeah, it's first off. By the way, if you want to hate the Mariners specifically, even though they're not football, if you want to hate if you want to hate a team for not creating a culture, go to Lambeau because you're like, oh, this whole city runs on this football team. Like, and they were talking about how
Well, City is,
yeah, except for, by the way, the stadium holds like 90,000 people and the city's like 100,000 people. I'm
yeah.
not, okay. And in like 1975, the local city approved to increase taxes to expand the stadium. Can you imagine in any city in the United States the citizens voting yes on a bill at this point that increases taxes?
But they are owners of the team, so in effect, they're like, well, it's just going to bring in more revenue for us.
But they
So,
don't collect revenue like that on a, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's not how that whole thing is. It's yeah, that's a fun
it's a
program they
scam.
have.
Yeah,
It's a scam. Yeah, it's like a GoFundMe or a
like
Kickstarter
COVID.
for
Yeah, a scam. It reminds me of Wrigley a little bit because you see like aerial views of Wrigley, and you're like, oh, that's in. Where's all the parking lots and
yeah.
but it's like smack dab in the middle of the city. It's pretty cool.
We couldn't live without him. That's as it turns out, we could
We
not live
made it
without
3 minutes, and then
Oh, you start?
Yeah, well, we're started.
Oh, baby.
we're almost finished. Now that you're here.
Right.
I gotta you guys catch up. I got my wife calling me to figure out what the hell's going on. So
Well,
Your life.
Casey was at Lambeau Field, and he tried to do the leap, and he broke his ankle. And
Lambo Leap.
Corey, have you
Lambeau
been
Leap of
to
Fat.
Lambeau in your times at Appleton?
Yeah. Outside of the season. Yeah, I didn't realize it's just like it's like a mall, basically. You're just shops and restaurants but never
Yeah.
saw the field. I don't know.
yeah, I've never.
Oh,
been
did
to
you
a
not
game.
do the tour?
No. We time constraints or something. I don't know. Was
Yeah.
that you and I, Andrew?
No, I wasn't there.
No.
I was there with Chris Frangiola, and he didn't want to go, so it was just me. I was just there alone at
Oh.
the tour. And by the, I mean, like I was telling Andrew, like it makes me angry at Seattle sports franchises for not building a culture around it because they love it so much there, and I want that here. I want to have a team. I think the Seahawks are getting close, but I want a team that we care about that much. Andrew, you were comparing it to Wrigley Field. I will say the one thing about Lambeau, Wrigley is, and I love Wrigley. I love the Cubs. The Cubs are like the only team outside of Seattle that I like. That stadium is a dump. If you don't love the history, it's a AAA stadium. I like it. I enjoyed the shit out of it. It's like going to
It's built
an
in
old
1912, back when Corey was born. So you know.
Yeah, I haven't been. I've been to the neighborhood, walked around, but you can kind of tell that the stadium ain't great.
Like the first time I went to Fenway, you're like, "Oh, cool," and then you're like, "This sucks. It's crowded. There's no walkways. All the concessions are like in the basement. It's flooding. It's humid. It's 80,000 degrees in there. They put the hot dogs in the boiler room. It's disgusting. Yeah, they need to tear it down and rebuild it. Honestly."
I mean, I say no to that. Don't put that juju on us. But it is like if you're more than 25 rows back, every single seat is view obstructed. Like it's got charm that you only like if you like baseball. Like if my wife went there, she would hate it. But if as a baseball fan, you're sitting there and it's like being in an old church. You know what I mean? We're
Right.
like, oh yeah, the floor creaks at on every step, and I love it. You know what I mean? But if you're not that religion, then it's not as charming.
The floor doesn't creak for me. I think that might just be a you thing.
Corey, did you buy any Seahawks Super Bowl merch?
Not Super Bowl merch. My Instagram's inundated with this homage brand or HOMAGE.
Oh, yeah.
Homage, maybe.
And
Homage.
Homage, yeah.
paying homage to, I guess maybe that's how they pronounce it the right way.
I bet it's homage. I like homage.
Yeah. So I tried to pay homage to the team and get an old school hoodie. So whatever. They were all out of every size right before the Super Bowl, and I thought that seems kind of silly to me. I mean, it's just you print a thing on a hoodie. I don't know, but then right after the Super Bowl, they had a bunch. So I was like, oh, I guess I don't know.
I'm a fan of the Seattle people. What are they?
Simply Seattle.
They've got good stuff. I bought a Dark Side sweater the week before the Super Bowl. That's going to be my contribution. So
the hoodie I bought is basically Casey's hat, but with the green instead of the blue, and
as the main color.
Too small. I'm too fat, so I gotta send it back and get it hopefully exchanged. Anyway, I think I might be in the middle of the sizes, though. You don't you hate that when that happens, when you're like,
oh man, really hate that. That's what a bummer that is. God damn.
What?
Like what? 2 or 3 X's? Oh man, I don't know. I don't know which one to buy.
Well, as a tall, skinny person too, I actually just added this line of like, tall. I'm no longer a medium. I know I'm not that skinny either, but yeah, it's like I've been in between a medium and a large, and now that I've got this 40-year-old physique stand-up comedy build going, I just started ordering larges because it's like every time I move my arms, my belly pops out, and you're like, and plus I feel like the mediums fit perfectly until you wash it 3 times, and then once it shrinks like just a little bit, it's like game over for me for some stuff.
Yeah.
Man, your arms move and your belly pops out. Can't relate to that. Don't know what you're talking about. This is
and the floor creaks when I walk. It's crazy. It's like an old church.
You live in an old house? No, it's brand new.
It's cement floors. Weird. The merch is so expensive. I spent like $300 on it. We got like 5 shirts out of the deal. Like it's like $60 on a t-shirt. It has to be a really important thing to me to spend $60 on a t-shirt.
Well, maybe if it said like comedian merch with like ripping off the Costco logo, I might spend like $600 on that personally, but
maybe.
I mean, if it's like for the team that I live and die for, then who cares,
Yeah, I had that. Andrew's referring. I've texted you guys both about this, but I'll tell the story and you can ask me any questions. The guy would like to remain anonymous. He got mad at me for outing him. Well, this dude came up to me after my show on Monday, and he's like, "I loved all your kids' stuff." It like genuinely was like moved by it.
I want to make out with my kids too.
And he goes, "I want to buy 5 shirts for my family," and then he goes, He goes, and I want to buy the next 6 people's shirts, like pay it forward like Starbucks. And I was like, that sounds great. And then he's standing there, and the next person comes up, and I'm like, that guy bought your shirt. And he's like, dude, stop. I'm not trying to do this for like credit. I just want to, I'm going to hang out and talk to you in a little bit. Please stop telling people that I bought it. And so then he like went away, so I couldn't point him out. And then he came up after the show, and he's like, all right, I'm going to buy 3 more for my family, and then like 7. It ended up being, I've been telling people 19, but I redid the count. It was 21 shirts that this guy ended up paying for. 7 of them I still have to give away. So, by the way, if you're in the comments, come to a show and you let me know you heard this podcast, I will give you a free shirt. That's what I'm saying for the next 7 people.
Wow. Okay.
But so then he goes, he's like,
I wonder you bought $47,000 worth of Seahawks memorabilia. You gotta,
it's
you got
certainly made it easier to afford.
This
Yeah,
is literal money laundering.
yeah. So he the reason he even like remember, like, we had an interaction before the show because I was like, he had a Super Bowl hat on. I was like, oh, that's cool. Did you buy that on Fanatics? And he's like, kind of gruffly was like, no, I was at the game. And I was like, oh shit, that's amazing. And then he came up to me and he was telling me about it. And he goes, so anyways, this whole thing goes through, and he goes, I'm a season ticket holder. I want you to pick out a game next year to go to. And then he's like, and by the way, I got to leave here because I know the club's closing. I'm going to go down the street to a bar. Come have a drink with me if you'd like to. And I was like, man, this guy, first off, gave me no vibes that like he was going to try to sleep with me. It wasn't like Corey on OnlyFans. Like he was
Right.
Felt like he was in it for the right reasons. And so I go end up hanging out with this guy, buys my drinks, which I meant to buy his drinks, and then he bought my drinks, which is, I feel like, a little bit of a dick over. But then
Was he
He
like,
also
can I
happened
buy
to be-
7 shots for the next 6 people to walk through the bar?
we were at a nice place. That probably would have taken all the money out of the t-shirt game.
There's a hot one. He's like, actually, I just want to buy her 7 shots. Actually,
But yeah, then it turns out this dude is like best friends with a guy I went to high school with that I'd lost touch with. So now I'm like back in touch with a high school friend, all because of this guy's Super Bowl hat and me, telling jokes about kissing my daughter.
wow. That's
Quite a whirlwind.
And say his name right now, everybody. Just
I'll say his name and last name. He loves the credit.
ruin the whole thing.
I just want his email to put on my MailChimp. Just give me like an email and a zip code, and then I can invite him to. We got a big show in Renton this week if he wants to come. So.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's one of those guys where you're like, dude, so generous. If I'm ever where you are, please let me know. I'll get you in for free. And he's like, no, I love to support. And I'm like, it doesn't really help me. I don't have a lot of door deals. Like, it just come to the show would be way better than me getting,
Just
getting you
get in free and give me the ticket money. Like that's not
right.
that big of a deal.
That's right. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up. I don't know what this says. That's stupid, dude. I don't know what that relates to, but I did. We did have a heard Andrew is gonna buy the Seahawks. That's good.
True
And then
story.
he said he also said in before the Oakland Seahawks.
Oh,
So
come on.
Seahawks are for sale officially. That news came out today. I don't know if you saw that, Corey.
I did, yeah.
I'm going to take my best stab at being Andrew Rivers, and I wrote a few jokes
Yeah.
about the potential buyers.
I love
Jeff
it.
Bezos might buy the team just to shut down the information booths. Mackenzie Bezos may buy the team just to give away season tickets one by one so she stays in the news. The news that unfortunately, maybe that's why Jeff Bezos shut down the Washington Post, actually, so that they'll stop reporting on his ex-wife. And then Bill Gates is gonna put a bid in just to be there for the cheerleading tryouts, or maybe he'll be with
Mercer
the
Island.
team trainers sneaking steroids into people's. Dude, the Mercer Island Seahawks would be sick. That guy loves islands.
Yeah.
Just any island will do it. Lake
Yeah.
Island.
Well, yeah, you talk about how great Wrigley is, and you want the Lambeau Field experience. You got to move it to a quiet neighborhood, and Mercer Island. Those people could actually afford to buy a piece of the Seahawks. So it would solve all of our traffic problems. Just putting
That's true.
the main epicenter right near no public transportation, and
How
Yeah.
long does it take for a football team to sell?
It could definitely be longer than a year. I would say
Yeah.
to get it finalized would to get it finalized will probably be more than a year, but like to go through the bidding process can be a long time. Could be through all of
Yeah.
next season potentially.
Yeah.
And they've
Um,
got to get like approval from the league, and
I heard about that, and I don't know if
There's
this is
other-
true or if this will apply to the Seahawks, but apparently they have like a Rolodex of pre-approved people who are like have been vetted and are like that. This is why like Chris Hansen as like a hedge fund manager was a little bit controversial and a little bit of a risk for the NBA because hedge funds typically aren't the kind of
That
like
guy almost ruined Andrew's life.
the other
Chris
Chris Hansen. Yeah,
Oh, wrong one.
wrong Chris Hansen.
Sorry.
I was like, no, the pizza is for me. I just came here to hang out and watch movies. I don't understand what the big deal is.
Chuck E. Cheese. I love Chuck E. Cheese. Sorry.
Do you have
your
any-
hedge fund-
I
hedge
thought I
fund.
was grabbing the ball in the ball pit. It just turned out to be Casey's daughter. So
Jesus.
Take it easy, Jesus Christ. She's for me to make jokes about, not you. So,
pre-approved. Yeah.
so is there any part of you that's worried about the team being moved? I mean, typically the teams that are ripe to be moved are like when there's a stadium issue, and we are. I mean, it is crazy to imagine like T-Mobile Park is 26 years old, and the ballpark in Atlanta, I don't think it reached 30 years old before they moved to a new ballpark, like whatever Turner Field to whatever they're in now.
Right.
I mean, we are getting to a point where like I'm not saying that any of it's imminent. I think T-Mobile Park's still great. I think Lumen Field's still great, but like, is there any part of you that's worried about the team moving?
Only because of past trauma, but
Sure.
it doesn't feel like it's smart. It doesn't feel like, but I mean, the buyer, it has a lot to do with the buyer, right? Like, didn't necessarily make sense to move the Sonics. I mean, there was aside from the arena issue, which was big, I guess, but like somebody who was from Oklahoma City wanted the team and moved it to where he wanted the team.
The arena issue was the biggest thing. That's why
Sure.
Howard Schultz moved it, and it's also like because like even if because Chris Hansen when Chris Hansen wanted to put a team here, this idea that like they would fund a big chunk of it and the city wouldn't, that's actually not a positive for the NBA because the NBA works on behalf of the owners, not the fans. And the
Right.
owners don't want to pay for their own stadium. So it's actually like a bad precedent for the owners. In Oakland, when the Warriors, I think, maybe fully financed their own stadium, that was like really, owners were really mad about that because that meant when you have a team in Indianapolis, those people are going to want you to do that too.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, like if we sold it to it feels like we sold it to a different owner, maybe, it wouldn't have moved. But
Yeah.
I mean, LA could use a fifth NFL franchise. It's a city that's just loves their teams, and they're ride or die for their teams, and so I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
I'm
worried,
trying
Andrew?
to,
Am I worried? No. I
Yeah.
mean, I haven't heard any. It hasn't even been floated as a sarcastic, except for this guy in the comments. But I can't imagine. You would typically take a team when people don't care that much about it. The Seahawks
Right.
have had sustained success. They just renovated Lumen not that long ago when they added the extra seats and stuff like that. I don't know what else. I mean, it is talked about as home field advantage and one of the best places, and
Right.
the report cards that they're now not gonna share publicly, maybe.
maybe not do
like-
it all.
Yeah, well, I think they came out with a statement that said they're gonna still do report cards. They're just not gonna share them publicly
Gotcha.
anymore. so we're not allowed to shame the owners into making any changes. But yeah, I mean, when we got bad grades on, I think like workout facilities or something like that, then the team was in charge and they upgraded that stuff. So, but I haven't seen any malcontent or like no one seems like this is being run poorly.
I think
I mean, maybe if Elon Musk takes over and makes it tank and you know, and then makes it a horrible experience, then maybe
he fires 75% of the staff and sleeps in the office every day. And then he's firing off tweets from.
Let me unplug this and see what that does. Yeah. I don't know. I don't. I would just be worried about what is it? Steve Ballmer. He's already the LA guy. He's like, it would just be, and he's already in a lot of this. Well, he's not in trouble yet, but he's been severely investigated for all this Kawhi Leonard fraud, and like Seattle's a hippy dippy liberal city that might fall for that. Oh, we're paying him to plant trees, not play basketball, I swear. And then,
yeah, I would guess that Steve Ballmer is, especially while he's still under investigation, is probably is off the pre-approved list, would be my guess.
Now, is he actually under investigation, or are they just doing a lot of podcasts about it?
It's probably podcasts. I mean, again, it's
I don't know. Pablo Torre has the poll to be able to. Otherwise, hey, we got a president or a couple you could look into, and doesn't seem to be making any progress, no matter how many times you black out his name in the crimes. But you know, it's all good. Stick to sports.
Yeah, well, you know, whatever. Shut up and dribble, I think is the.
Yeah. I don't know how to dribble, so. Dribbles out the side of his.
Woo! I think Elon Musk puts, like, instead of the 12th man flag, there's just like a slur cannon at the top of the stadium.
It's funny how you went like this when you said that.
Oh, yeah, dude. No, that's Roman salute. It's a Roman salute.
We're gonna bring back the chop and.
Wait.
I am worried though. Like if a new owner comes in, obviously I think they're going to keep the team here, but to have just a shift in philosophy, that because John Schneider's gotten 17 years or something at this point to build a sustainable product, to go through a whole coaching change and create a philosophy. And I don't think he would have gotten that in every city. And at least I think what Jody Allen just kind of kept things like treading water philosophically. Like, I don't think she changed anything positive or negatively from Paul Allen. And I'm worried if you get a guy, let's call him Jeff Bezos, but I don't know this about Bezos in particular, that's a little less patient.
Hands-on, yeah.
Yeah, it wants to be Howard Schultz. Don't do that while we're talking about Howard Schultz, by the way, because that's yeah.
Wants to be
I've
Jerry
seen that
Jones.
meme. That's no
Yeah.
good. But yeah, wants to be Jerry Jones. And Mark Cuban, we've talked about how you want your owner to be Mark Cuban. I would love, by the way, if just Mark Cuban was the owner of the Seahawks. That'd be incredible.
Well, it sounds like he might buy back the Mavericks. The Mavericks had this whole thing where they were trying to build a big casino, and they were lobbying all these Texas lawmakers. And then after 3 years, they were like, I guess we're not going to get legalized gambling, and we're going to sell the team again. And so now that they destroyed their whole franchise for years to come.
He's going to Dave Portnoy his way back into the Mavericks. He's going to buy him back for $1 or whatever. I guess that's the thing I'm more. I mean, I don't think they're going to move, but I am worried. Like, the sale doesn't feel like good news to me. Everybody seems to be like, oh, they're going to sell for the most any franchise ever has. That sounds like cool until you're like, but that means that I have to pay tickets to go see the most expensive franchise that's ever been sold, which that person's going to want to make that money back in some form. It doesn't mean tickets are going to go up 100% next year, but they might. They're a Super Bowl winning team. And then they're going to have a new owner that wants to make their money back, that doesn't have the equity built up from buying them a lot less expensive.
Yeah. I already can't afford it. I don't know. What do we?
I got to rely on fans in the audience to potentially, I got to suck a fan's dick at a steakhouse car just to get a,
You left that part of the story out.
oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
No
Turn
wonder
the
he
feed
doesn't
off to
want
my
his
wife's
name
phone.
to be mentioned.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, I get like fans are taking a lot of pride in the idea that the Seahawks are going to be the most valuable franchise ever. But that's like, that just feels short sighted to me. Like, I'd rather they're worth $3 billion. And yeah, anyway.
Yeah, well, it's this weird, sweet spot that you would like to find between very valuable franchise and piece of shit franchise that isn't worth shit.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of room in that in between, but I mean, it's kind of, I guess, where we're at.
They're
right
also
now.
selling at the top of the market too.
Yeah.
Right. Well, but that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying is like when you buy at the top of the market, that means that like you don't have a lot of wiggle room on. We got to start creating some revenue to justify this price. And
We bought
the
our
Seahawks
house.
now.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
We
you
bought
know
our
what I'm
house in
saying.
2005, and then it crashed in early 08 or whatever, and it was like, oh, we're completely. I mean, other people would hate this complaint because people lost their houses, but we didn't lose our house, but we were stuck. We couldn't sell, we couldn't refinance, we couldn't rent, we couldn't move, we couldn't anything, and so we got a divorce.
And it was all Obama's fault.
Yes, thanks.
I want to go over
Different black guy.
I think we're probably like Seahawks offseason might not be our most fun topic. I'll do some Seahawks
Yeah.
offseason deep dives in
I think
between,
that'll
but I do
have
wanna,
the most controversy though, because I
Maybe.
know you
Well,
were.
I want to
Bush
bring up some
didn't play
guys
a role in
because
the divorce. That's 2 minutes.
So we did have a conversation last week when I was like very dehydrated and depleted from having removed every bodily fluid out of my body for 2 days. And I will say, like, I don't think I did the greatest job of representing what Spot Track said, but it wasn't that far off. But since then, Pro Football Focus has put out what I think is a more realistic contract estimate for all the players that we talked about. So I'm going to go over them. You guys just both give me yay or nay with this contract. We'll start with Rashid Shaheed, 3 years, $42 million, 24 guaranteed.
Yay.
Yes, yeah.
Easy yay? Easy yay
Easy
for
yay.
Andrew?
Easy
All right.
yay.
You seemed a little bit
Movie.
conflicted, Corey.
The price is so high, but I don't know what else. Again, it's like what like I want to keep Kenneth Walker, but I also go like with the
Well, we'll get to Kenneth Walker. Relax. Jesus Christ.
Right.
Well, I mean,
We'll
I
get
would
Just
there,
what
my
else is
God.
out there, you know?
But the thing is, I'd say yes to everybody. You're gonna. It's
Yeah.
just it's hard, like, because I know.
It's not
Oh,
my money. Put it on
hold
the
on.
card. New owner, Jeff Bezos.
Hold
He's
on.
got 80
I wanted to bring this up because I was curious because you guys are sports fans, but
Right.
I talk about this topic a lot and I'm never sure how much people understand it. Do you guys understand what rollover cap in the NFL is? Do you know what that means?
I don't understand it now.
Okay.
I
Andrew?
think I do, but I couldn't. You can take leftover stuff and use it next year. But
Yeah, so if
it's like a
the
whole
salary
process.
cap is $300 million, but you didn't spend $70 million of your cap space the previous year, you can actually spend $370 million the next year.
Next week. Okay.
And-
Yeah.
In the upcoming years, Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to need to be extended, and he's going to change, or he's going to set the market for receivers.
Yeah.
That's just the way the NFL is now. Would you rather have him or Jamar Chase? I'd probably still take Jamar Chase. Regardless, you have an opportunity to re-sign Jackson Smith and Jigba. You're probably going to do it. That's at $40.5 million. That's what Jamar Chase is at right now. Devin Witherspoon. Is he the best cornerback in football? He actually, by the way, was ranked number 1 by Pro Football Focus. He's going to probably set the market for cornerbacks. That's $30 million right now. So the people talk about the Seahawks having a bunch of cap space. They have $73 million right now with 43 players signed. And those guys aren't going to make that in the first year or whatever. But you can see, like, that's not that much space once you start re-signing your own players.
Right.
So anyways, okay, we'll go back to Shaheed. My only apprehension with Shaheed, and it's, we talked about Cooper Kupp a little bit last week. You can save, if they decided to cut Cooper Kupp, they'd save $9.5 million
His contract was guaranteed though the day after the Super Bowl or whatever.
Is that right? The full contract is guaranteed?
They yeah, I can look it up, but you keep talking.
Okay, so that would be surprising, but that actually is crazy if they made that deal. I mean, I guess there's almost nothing I wouldn't put in a contract to win a Super Bowl, but I think you need someone to take the volume away from Jackson Smith and Jigba, and that's never been Rashid Shaheed. Rashid Shaheed's never had a season with 1,000 yards. He's never had a season where he caught a bunch of balls. He's valuable in the return game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get how he's valuable, and to have him at a low salary, even if you had to give up some picks, was like interesting and valuable. Yeah. Torrey Horton does some of the stuff that he does, none of it probably quite as well, but it's a lot to pay for the difference between Torrey Horton and
he was like,
Rashid
in
Shaheed.
baseball when you go get a pitcher at the deadline and try and win the World Series, it feels like, and we did it, and so maybe that's just kind of we rented him, and
damn, you're right. That's crazy. Right again, 2 weeks in a row.
I'm usually on it.
$9 million guaranteed salary. Wow. Okay, well then I guess take that off of the.
Pretty low for like a third receiver, for like a role playing.
So that's $9 million guaranteed salary. Are you talking about for Cooper Kupp?
I think so, yeah. And
no, his cap number is $17.5 million. That's not low for a. That's really not low for a second receiver. That's probably relatively high for a second receiver. But we could take that off of the. I guess if that's the case, I'm probably somewhere close to a no on Rashid Shaheed. I'm like an unpopular person with that opinion. But I also, my buddy Dan Viens, who I think has the best Seahawks podcast called Seahawks Forever, he did this exact thing. And because I'm going to do a deeper thing, I haven't watched it yet. But he brought up two comparisons on social media about this, which were, oh shit. Now, if I had them better... But both of them were like, oh, these aren't guys that I think are that exciting if you're making that comparison. Guys in that middle class of receivers, signing them to 3-year deals for big money, like, usually they're disappointing.
Right.
Anyways, Kenneth Walker, they had at 3 years, $27 million, $20 million guaranteed.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely on that. $9 million a year is... the lowest pay for his age and quality. I mean, it's right below Kyren Williams. It's 5 years. I'd say no, because he becomes Joe Mixon, and
sure,
who wants that? But yeah, I would normally say no on a running back, but he's only 25. That takes him to 28. $9 million a year is pretty low relative to the market. So I guess, I didn't know that's what it was going to be. I was ready to say no, but now.
Well, Spot Track had him at. I looked at their actual contract, and they had him at 436. They don't do the guarantee projection.
Yeah.
So at 436, where do you fall?
5 years is definitely a no, and for me, but 3 a yes, 4 probably. I don't know. Yeah. Charbonnet is fine. What's Charbonnet's how long do we? I don't know. Charbonnet.
I think one more year.
Yeah,
one more year.
One more year.
It's going to be ACL recovery.
Probably going to miss most of next year or be less effective next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you don't sign Walker, you're going in with is George Holani? I don't even know what his rookie contract is. Right at this point, you'd be going in with massive question marks at running back next year.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you could trade for Devin Achane, maybe. I feel like
Possibly.
Miami's tanking and getting rid of all their people, and Achane's on the last year of his contract, and he's kind of a squirty, scooty guy that might work. But otherwise, you just got to hope you hit on a late round draft pick, which Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker were both second round picks. Do you want to use another second round pick on a running back? Casey doesn't find them valuable at all, so he's like, put an undrafted rookie in there. He's the same guy. Oh, you got to just run the ball. It's not that hard.
It's literally the hallmark of the zone blocking thing is Terrell Davis is an undrafted, a 6th round pick. Mike Anderson is like a Marine veteran that they pull off the street. Olandis Gary. The reason I know these names is because this system is so prolific at creating productive running backs.
Yeah, you've been working on your scouting book all off season. I know you've been traveling around. When you're in Wisconsin, do you scout out the colleges at Madison?
Of course, I go to University of Wisconsin, and so you're a yay. Then I'm taking it.
No, I think there's better value. I think I'd rather keep Reek Woolen than Kenneth Walker, but I was really
the guy keeps
just
jumping
in
ahead.
the post. I know I was maybe post glow of MVP, Super Bowl, and we lost Charbonnet, but just for the sake of creating argument, I say cut them all. I mean, they're useless to me.
I'm telling you, with Kenneth Walker, if I'm the Seahawks, I have the thank you for all your contributions draft already on Twitter, ready to, when he finds his new team, ready to be like, bon voyage. And by the way, I think Kenneth Walker's fine. I think he's going to have a good career. Yeah. I hope if it's at $9 million a year that it's somewhere else. Let's move on to Reek Woolen because
that's more than Joe Mixon gets paid. By barely. It's the same. Sorry, same as Joe Mixon gets paid, and he's 31. So
he's actually, by the way, not even the top on the list of running backs on the PFF rankings. Not the highest paid potential free agent. Breece Hall, I believe, is going to be a free agent, and they had him making a little bit more, and Travis Etienne, which is these are all guys, by the way. Hall's been pretty productive, but like Etienne's been pretty disappointing and has had like kind of productive streaks, and similarly Walker had ups and downs, and because of this two-headed monster that they had, he was able to stay healthy, but like I'm worried about his health. He's not going to come in and be a workhorse, and if you're going to pay a guy $9 million at a position that's like almost fungible at this point, like, yeah, dude, he better be able to at least stay healthy. I'm out. All right. Reek Woolen. Andrew, so Spotrac has him at 1 year, $8.2 million. Put out the question, would you rather have Reek Woolen or 2 Josh Jobs? I think it's got to be just a glitch or a fuck up by PFF. They don't have Josh Jobe in their top like 150 free agents. That can't be correct. So we can revisit that later if it becomes. But Reek Woolen is at 3 years, $45 million, $30 million guaranteed.
I think not paying him is 35? Equivalent to an emotional 45. Outburst.
40.
Like all of his metrics, all of his numbers. A few boneheaded plays a year or whatever, but like. He's so good. So I just don't see, you got to keep your blue chip players you don't just go, hey, we'll find another athletic freak that's 6'5" and runs a 4.240 and, has the length of a giraffe. Like you've got to trust in your coaching ability to get those guys straight. I think Mike is probably going to be more frustrated and go, get the fuck off my team. But I think with great players, you got to pay them.
Where would you guess that Josh Jobe and Reek Woolen each ranked on the PFF grades, like among cornerbacks in the NFL?
Relative to each other or total overall? I mean, how many?
Overall. So Devin Witherspoon it's like coverage, run defense, and then I think zone defense might be broken out separately, but it's like press and zone are broken out separately, but it all aggregates into one number.
Blitz is in the Super Bowl, don't.
Pass rush is one of them, though. Pass rush is one for corners. It's probably not a lot of plays for these guys to be rushing the passer. But Reek is the number one cornerback by PFF grades. Where do you think that... Sorry, not Reek. Devin Witherspoon's number one. Where do you think Reek and Jobe are?
30s?
I think he's a top 10 probably. I mean, again, I think some of these things are weighted heavily because no one throws at Reek, which is another sign of
60s. No, so this is the deal about PFF that I will say. They're not based on targets. They're based on every play. It's does he do his job every play. So if he covers a guy
And then
well,
you see those grades come out, and you're like, "Oh, Devin Witherspoon is a 50," and you're like, "Whatever."
Devin Witherspoon was the number one ranked
I know.
cornerback in
Yeah,
football.
yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
and Reek, a lot of people think he's terrible, and he was ranked 66th by PFF, which means would be the third cornerback on I guess an average team, right? Job is 77th, by the way.
Yeah.
So, would you rather have Josh Job? The Spot Track had him at 3 years, 29 million, no guarantee, but let's say it's 20 million guaranteed, or Reek at 345, 30 million guaranteed. 3 years, 45 million, 30 million guaranteed. And are you kicking Job out of bed? Is that what I'm getting from you?
Yeah. Get rid of him. Who cares? Replaceable cornerback. all
I know you want
gotta
to.
do
You
is,
want to bring back.
go
You
like
want to
this
run it
for
back
3
completely.
seconds. So it's so hard, Like, who cares?
You want to run it back completely, no matter the cost. I know that. I know.
Yeah, I do. I think you've got a great team, and you just pay those guys. Like, I think there's some. The LOB's downfall was letting Malcolm Smith, Super Bowl MVP, walk, and
That team's downfall, I'm telling you, was I know there was like obviously the not scoring, trading for Percy Harvin and then giving him a ton of money.
exactly.
The
So if
trading
you don't
for him
pay
was
your
bad.
players, they're not going to trust you to be like, "Oh, I'm going to work my ass off, and then you're just going to ship me out of town." Like,
No, giving him a ton of money is what crushed
Right.
that team, in my opinion.
yeah,
How often does an aging? Well, they're all aging.
We're all aging, Corey.
A
You faster than me, but not
back
even true.
back end of prime wide receiver get traded and it work out.
I mean, certainly trading for those guys. That's why the
Diggs.
price is usually pretty low, right?
Yeah. Who'd you
Yeah,
say?
Devontae's not a bad
Devontae
example.
Adams, Stephon Diggs this year. Those two.
I'm not sure where we're headed, but I think it's like
Well-
it's somewhat frequent that they contribute, but rarely do they regain whatever their like top
regain
form was.
there. Yeah. I just am trying to like. Yeah, I don't know that. Where are we gonna get that second receiver? Where is that? Is it Cooper? Is it really Cooper Kupp? Is our second receiver?
Yeah, I mean he was the second receiver last year.
I know, but without, I don't know. It just doesn't seem.
there's
seems
not
like-
even like a run first team.
Seems like we need someone. I don't know.
I feel
Yeah.
like the podcast just skipped back 15 minutes,
Sorry.
and I'm like,
Yeah. Someone
by the way,
said
I
something that made me think of it. Yeah.
I basically agree with you that like they need someone to take some of the volume away from Jackson Smith and Jigba, because
Right.
if he keeps getting targeted at the rate he is, he's gonna get hurt. And if he gets hurt, the offense is fucked. Like I understand they're a run first team, but they're a run first team who had a wide receiver who was the offensive player of the year because he commanded a historically high target percentage for a team that's actually competitive. And you can't sustain that. Like he can't keep getting 40% of the targets or whatever it was. And stay healthy. It's just not realistic.
Right. All right. Someone said something that made me think of it. Job or Reek?
I don't know what
Gotta
this
pay
means.
them all.
Andrew's hurt too.
I am hurt, but I got a broken
Jesus.
toe still.
On the DL. I don't know. I don't know. I want to get rid of Reek after the NFC Championship game, but
So did Casey. Immediate
15 million.
text.
Yeah.
What a fitting
what do you got?
end
What do
to
you got,
his
Casey?
career.
What do we got for you?
I don't know. I honestly, at 3 years, $45 million, I think that's pretty reasonable for Reek. I think like he's a talent. I just don't know if he fits the scheme very well. And if that's the case, then I think you got to move on from him. But I think whoever gets him at 3 years, $45 million, it's actually a bargain. I don't know if he's a perfect fit for the Seahawks and if there's surplus value in him at that price. But like, I think he's a better player than 3 years, $45 million suggests. I just don't know if it's going to be if he's the right person for Seattle. If those were the prices, I'd probably take Job, but I'd be also just like trying to find. You got to think about where they got Reek and where they got Job. Like the same front office is here. Job is off the scrap heap, and Reek is a 5th rounder out of a small school. They've done that consistently in the John Schneider era. Is find defensive backs from nothing. And so I don't really love the idea of overpaying for any of those guys, just because there's a very strong chance that you have to choose between Devin Witherspoon and Jackson Smith-Njigba, and it's a super easy choice to me to pick Jackson Smith-Njigba out of that. Like, that's a more unique player at a place where the Seahawks have struggled to find talent compared to defensive back. Easy choice, take Jackson Smith-Njigba. How about that? If you had to pick between, like, at the max, or, you know, at a market-setting contract, JSN or Devin Witherspoon, who do you take? If you had to pick. I know Andrew's paying everyone somehow in his world. Like, this is when you have people that come from rich families, they don't understand you have to budget on occasion, you know?
Yeah, you make a good point, I think. Yeah. Jackson's the JSN.
I don't think it's a real choice between the. I think both of those players.
Coward.
I know, yeah, but
if you had to pick,
like, if you had to
JSN
pick
at $40 million,
Russell Wilson or Marshawn Lynch, you only get one. It's like, no, you pay good players. Like, that's what happens. I think it's easier to find a safety to play than it is to find a 5th round quarterback that no one believes in. But all of their pieces, you know. Sam Darnold was a cast-off. Geno Smith was a cast-off. Russell Wilson was a 3rd-round pick. So
any good team
it's obviously a repeatable
value.
process. You can just find these guys anywhere, you know? Like,
any good team is finding value. And like any team that's contending regularly is finding value in like later rounds in the draft or the bottom end of free agency. Like,
so you pay everybody and then you cut them once you find the actual players, but you don't create holes in your roster because you're like, oh, I'm a $10 billion franchise. I can't afford to pay up, you know?
So like when the Seahawks let Golden Tate walk, huge mistake. When the Seahawks let they couldn't have paid him though. Like, who do you cut? Who do you? Eventually, it'll become a point where it is either or, and it's not.
Percy
the Seahawks
Harvin,
have cap
you know,
space.
they've learned from hopefully the Jamal Adams trade.
Yeah.
I
actually think
bringing
the
in
Percy
these
Harvin
outside
thing is
guys
fair in
that do not. They're paying them before they even fit the culture. You know, like they're paying them. They're like, oh, here's all your money now, and then the players are like, I don't give a fuck. I'll just smoke weed every day. And then Percy
They
Harvin's
waited a
like,
year on. They got a year to wait
again.
on Jamal Adams, right? Didn't they get a year to wait on Jamal Adams before they
think
signed
so,
him to an
maybe half a
extension?
season. Yeah, but yeah,
All right, I'm gonna give you the last couple.
we should
before
re-sign
we
Jamal
move on.
Adams. There's rumors about Max Crosby. Do you want to trade for Max Crosby?
Well, hold on. Let's go through these last couple, and then I'm happy
Boye
to talk about
Mafe
Max Crosby.
cut. Get him out of here. Who cares?
At any price.
He's not. He's gonna be overpaid. So yeah.
So Spot
Someone's
Track
gonna
says
pay
3
an
years,
athletic-
$36 million.
Yeah. Goodbye.
You're out on that.
You can
PFF
find
says
edge
3 years.
players. What was he, a 2nd-round pick? You know, it's like,
You love him, dude. You want to keep everybody. You want to keep the continuity alive.
Kobe Bryant,
I don't know what
goodbye.
Pitch.
Boye Mafe, goodbye.
Kobe Bryant jokes? Oh, wait.
Crash and burn.
So-
Ari Shaffir?
I do think that I'm with you on Kobe Bryant, even though I think he's getting $228 from Spot Track and 3 years, $30 million, $20 million guaranteed from PFF. You're out on that no matter. So this is the thing. Somebody has to like hurt your feelings, and then it's just binary. You're like Kobe Bryant. I'm mad at him for some reason. Don't care the price. He's gone. Boye Mafe, if he's $4 million, don't care. He's gone. But my sweet Kenneth Walker, despite the fact that there's 700 people that can play his position, we pay him $10 million a year. Nobody cares. Who cares if that means they can't sign a draft pick later on?
Yeah, I don't think that I think those positions are easier to find. Like, granted, you hope
Easier
you
than
find a
running
late round-
back?
Yes.
You're crazy. No, running back
Yeah.
is. Oh no, that's like I'm gonna. Send you some
even
studies.
Kenneth Walker was like running into his own offensive lineman for 3 years, and we finally fired our running backs coach, and personal leave.
This is the
And
craziest take you have. This is.
Yeah, I know.
Josh Jones. This is the last guy. Josh Jones. He made the 1 year,
Back up the
$3.5
truck.
million.
Swing tackle. Played great.
He did play well when they do have guys on the roster though that have some tackle experience. Bryce Cable has some tackle experience. I'm less worried about that one.
Bryce Cable, what have you do for me lately?
What was the amount? I didn't catch it. Did you say? Did you? Oh,
Yeah, you muted yourself. This podcast got 100% better. Okay. Well, it's 47 million. Anyone could play running, but just get me in the backfield.
Andrew got to my mic.
There he is.
Can you guys can hear me? Jesus Christ! Hold on, I gotta get my audio playing back over my headphones too.
It's just like whoop.
I'm kicking Casey out of bed next.
What the fuck is going on with this? Hold on a second. I gotta get my headphones playing on the right shit.
I didn't know he was cheating on me with his daughter.
Why is it playing over the speakers?
This is a callback to a whole conversation we had before the show. Yeah.
I didn't even hear it because I'm trying to.
Somebody was criticizing his joke about. We won't name names, but somebody that does not have kids was complaining about his kids' joke.
Audience or comedian?
A comedian that was in the audience.
Oh.
But not we're just I'm just
sure.
ruffling his feathers.
Tell me off air. Muted again.
The deep state.
Muted again.
You're making too much sense, and now they wanna silence you. You know?
Elon wants to shut me up. He's
saying running backs don't matter. We got to mute his mic.
I tried to sign James Tallarico for 3 years, $10 million, and nobody would let me do it.
You have a previous bad take and a previous good take that you want to use for credibility here. Like, were you like, we gotta trade Russell Wilson? We gotta start Matt Flynn. Now I'm getting my own voice in here. I don't like any of that.
Got a little loop going. I
don't
hear
call the Tacoma Comedy Club manager and have him fix the audio.
Someone
told me that you're in charge of the audio.
I'm in charge of audio at Tacoma Comedy Club. Do I have previous takes that have been? Is that what you're asking? Have I had a good take in the past?
Can you show some credibility for your bad opinions? That way we have some context.
I mean, I was early on getting rid of Sean Alexander. I will say, like, I was pretty frustrated that they were going to start Russell Wilson to start the season because it felt like a move you couldn't come back from when you signed Matt Flynn. But obviously, I turned out wrong on that one.
I guess, yeah. I mean, we'll never know. Matt Flynn.
Yeah, maybe Matt Flynn wins 6 Super Bowls here. I don't know. Did you ever see, by the way, there was a thing that someone tweeted at Matt Flynn, like, remember when the Seahawks paid you all that money and you didn't do shit? And he goes, yeah, that was awesome. I'd love to do that again, actually. Like, that's amazing. Let's talk about Max Crosby.
All right. Triple
Tell
X.
us what. Yeah, so what are your
Well, he's supposed to go for like 2 first-round picks and a player, probably is what people. I guess we got turned down at the trade deadline for 2 first-round picks plus a player. So would you give that up? But it turns out we didn't even need him necessarily. But
right,
can you rely on those guys to keep getting healthy? Can you keep finding these? DeMarcus Lawrence at the end of his career, Leonard Williams at the end of his career.
That's like the one thing the Seahawks have never had since John Schneider and Pete Carroll took over, and they've kind of pursued it a bunch of times and never fully landed it, is like a truly elite, game-changing defensive end, edge rusher type of guy. Something they're obviously like intrigued by. I mean, I don't know if Max. You know what's interesting about Max Crosby to me? Him in particular. The idea of them acquiring an elite edge rusher aside, he's like such a weird cultural fit for Seattle. Like the city of Seattle, not the team. I don't know anything about the locker room. I'm not saying that. But a guy who's like an outward Trump supporter, coming here and becoming the face of a defense that's already had success. I think that would be an interesting fit, regardless of what you feel I mean, you pass rushers, you're like, oh, let's get a Bosa then. Oh shit, like let's go. You know, there's a streak of Trump support. I just wonder. There's been guys who have come here and become kind of loathed by fans for stuff like that I don't particularly care about. But
has Abe Lucas been like just quiet the last few years, or because there was a moment where that was an issue for him, and it looked like it was going to be a big issue for him in Seattle.
Sure, and he's a third-round pick that didn't get paid until recently. So like,
yeah, was he just? I haven't paid attention. Has he just been quieter, or did he?
I haven't heard.
Yeah,
I haven't heard him say anything. I mean, I remember when Richard Sherman was kind of weighing in that regard, like kind of non, like, or like, what would you call it, heterodox takes on stuff, and it was controversial at the time. And then, you know, Sherman, I think Sherman's a smart enough dude that I would say it's probably actually through self-reflection, and also doesn't give a fuck about anyone else's opinion enough that I think it was probably genuine that he was like, yeah, I rethought it, and I don't feel that way anymore, but I was like curious about it. Was at the beginning of the All Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter stuff. Right. He was kind of like publicly exploring the All Lives Matter stuff, which in Seattle is obviously very unpopular.
Right.
So, but Crosby the player, I mean, it'd be really interesting to see a player with those talents, with that dominant ability on this defense. And we've just never seen it across multiple iterations of kind of progressive leading edge defenses. We've seen like these guys that you kind of like plug, like Chris Clemens was an effective pass rusher. Boye Mafe, Andrew's favorite player. Derek Hall, these like kind of, you know, Bruce Irvin, these guys who are just kind of like, yeah, they're productive. You're like, yeah, they're productive. DeMarcus Lawrence didn't even get a bunch of sacks, which is not his MO in his career, but like he's maybe the most effective pass rush acquisition they've made in decades, since Chris Clemens maybe.
Mm-hmm.
The way that line plays, though, is not sack. They're not after the stats necessarily. Like they play like a gap and a half scheme. They're trying to shut down the run first.
And disguise where the pass rush is coming from when there is a pass rush. Yeah. Would that change for the? Oh, go ahead.
Partisanship of NFL teams. The Seahawks have 40% Democratic voter registration and 10% Republican, which is interesting. And only the Green Bay Packers are. Well, there's a lot of variation, but yeah, just I never really thought about politics like.
What I think there's a lot of guys like when you get a big 350-pound white dude from Wisconsin playing guard, or, you know, Gray Zabel's drinking Busch Light from North Dakota. I think we could probably deduce who he's supporting. But Gray Zabel's also not like an outspoken guy with a podcast and constantly showing on Instagram. Like I just like Max Crosby has become this like kind of the face of the NFL's support for Trump. Not like, I mean, like Amon-Ra St. Brown did the Trump dance after a touchdown, and it became a big controversy.
Yeah.
What would that have been like in Seattle? What would the reception of Detroit's like? Michigan's very blended.
Yeah.
I just like I'm worried about that acquisition just from that regard. 2 first-round picks and a player. I guess it depends on who the player is. You know, if it's Kenneth Walker that you sign and trade, which they don't really do in the NFL, like, who cares? If
you could do like a franchise or a transition tag.
Maybe you empty the roster, which is what I ultimately want. Just empty the whole roster for Max Crosby. That's what I'd ultimately like. Would you trade Devin Witherspoon straight across for Max Crosby?
No.
No.
I think you pay your homegrown talent. I think Devin Witherspoon has a nickel corner who has the ability to play outside.
He didn't play much nickel this year, though.
Right. Well, Nick Ibamori.
Well, that was the reason Witherspoon played nickel under Mike McDonald the first year, was because they had nobody to handle that position. He's always been meant to be on the outside. They just didn't have anyone to. That position's more important, obviously, in McDonald's defense than.
So you think if they let Reek go, they're gonna put Witherspoon outside and
Witherspoon was
Ward.
outside most of last year. He was already outside.
Yeah. Okay.
He was outside. I guess I'll try to find the formation stats before the next podcast, but I'll bet you he was outside like over 85% of the time. And Reek was outside and Job was outside, and they were like, because Reek was out for a couple games and Witherspoon was out for a couple games, like Job got a lot, they all got a lot of snaps, but I bet you between them, I bet 80+% of their snaps were outside, is my guess. I haven't actually looked this up, but I'll look before next week. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of 2 first-round picks for a guy that's that elite, frankly, like especially when it's not a guy who's a strong safety that can't cover, like a guy that actually, like a sack is almost as good as a turnover. Like the sacks are huge, and pass rush that doesn't lead to sacks still leads to turnovers and stuff like that. So
yeah, he does, and you don't lose it. He's not. Yeah, you don't join a team as an edge rusher and just go, "Oh, geez, I can't fit in, and I don't know how to. This doesn't work." And they go to the new team and they get 20 sacks. They don't.
Yeah, I mean, Micah
Parsons, as long as they're still good,
Yeah, and Micah Parsons was pretty good
Yeah.
last year in Green Bay before he got hurt. Like, it's not usually a thing that requires like a huge learning curve. Maybe
Right.
a little more because he might get asked to do a little more coverage here than he was because they're disguising stuff. But I mean, yeah. So 2 first-round picks and a player. I would just need to know who the player was, I guess. But hopefully the Seahawks first-round picks are going to be pretty late the next 2 years too.
So
I'm not that.
The report is that we offered that at the trade deadline. Got declined.
I don't have deep sources, but I do know some people that do, and that was like I think they were pretty close to that at the deadline. Is what I understand.
I think we were supposed to ship Boye Mafe to the Chiefs for like a mid pick, and then we're gonna use more of that ammunition to go after Crosby. But then that thing fell through, so they just left everything else as is. But yeah. There was a lot of trade talk about Reek midseason too, but I don't know. I think the picks are weird. It's like there's less value, unless you're just really good at it. But I think you're more. It's the old joke of like, let's trade this player for a pick that could be this player someday.
Right.
Like it's like.
Well, you don't seem to care that he's going to make $30 million, so that becomes a factor, right? But no, I definitely the pick things. I'm not worried about that because I think you're like really certain Crosby's going to still be an elite pass rusher,
right?
If he comes here. I also the thing last year where he was injured in week 18, but he was like pissed that he wasn't playing and was like did the Instagram video where he's like taking a fadeaway 3-pointer in his home gym on his supposedly bad knee or whatever. I think he's a gamer.
I mean, Corey's got bad knees. He plays basketball, so it's not that hard to actually move around and go, I got an Instagram video, but like he did end up having surgery and stuff like that. So now they all have surgery every year anyway, but yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you fall there?
Ailments.
Where do you fall there, Andrew Mayock?
No, I think
don't acquire new talent unless it's your own talent that you overpay.
I think what this, I think whatever they do is great, but I think that they've proven that they can,
I have no doubt that if they trade for Max Crosby,
the sum
you'll
of the
be saying it
parts
was
is
good.
better than one big player. Now, how often does that big player come available? But how, again, like we talked about with the receivers, like how often does that big trade lead to the thing that you think it's going to be?
Sure,
and I feel like they've failed every time the Jimmy Graham trade, the Percy Harvin trade. They've always been like, we're going to get the guy. I trust this team to actually, have a plan if they do get a big red zone tight end to actually throw it to him in the red zone.
Also, we genuinely are back to this is a bad move unless the Seahawks do it.
Yes.
That's if they do it, then it's actually a good move.
but they shouldn't do it. That's my point.
Don't do it.
It's not a good
But
idea.
are you going to stand by that if they do it, or are you going to say they
Yes.
shouldn't have done it? Okay, all right. We got to remember this because I know your nature
Because they're
is
not
going to
do
be
it.
to be.
Because I just talked to John and it's all good.
Use FaceTime with John and Mike.
It's kind of funny because I think that they were interested.
Well, I talked
in
to Adam
Crosby.
Ray. He's my source on the
it's same
inside,
thing.
so he's been negotiating.
Oh God, when he's playing Max Crosby at the Moore Theater next year, it's going to be.
Although
Max
John
Crosby.
Schneider did say at the parade that he was negotiating with Ken Walker already, so I think they might have taken advantage of him when he was drinking. So
They did say they weren't going to use a tag on him, which I actually would have been relatively.
Either tag.
The only I would have been the only thing that's I'm not comfortable with on franchise tags is how it like fucks with morale, because it is kind of shitty to the player, especially a running back who's going to have, his career's probably going to be over at 28 years old. To take an additional year away from him is tough. And how that affects not really that player, but like when Devin Witherspoon's thinking about how the team treated Kenneth Walker while he's negotiating his contract,
Right. It's
yeah,
not
the
Kirk
tag
Cousins,
and
it's
trade
like,
with like
whoa.
Frank Clark. We got rid of him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you're going to trade the player away anyway, and it's just a way to retain him, I think that's a little bit different. But even that's like a little strong army, and I don't think the Mariners love to do that stuff. But yeah, I get it. I don't know if it's worth it to do it for a guy that's a mid to late 20s running back that's, you could probably replace with George Villani next year if you wanted to.
Woo!
Yeah, we saw how well he did catching that screen pass in the NFC Championship.
No, Walker's always been completely impervious to failure too, so I get what you're saying. But
absolutely.
Too bad we're not doing this in person. We could wrestle after. Do you want to talk about I gotta get going pretty soon, but do you want to talk about your last topic here, Andrew?
What did
Baseball,
what do we got?
opening day, maybe.
Oh,
You had-
dump it here, guy.
Dump it here. We have three options. You have fix the NBA draft, Mariners
That's
dump it here, guy,
Sure.
or is ballpark food too fancy?
Well, I know Casey's got a lot of food takes, but also fix the bleachers. They squeak when I sit down.
Some of the floor creaks at T-Mobile Park on me too. I don't know.
Yeah, I think. I think this dump it here guy. I'm just trying to clout chase on him a little bit, and so he bought. I had this idea where I think he could be the Where's Waldo of the Mariners, where if he just sits in different sections, then it's like, it's kind of a fun game. And so I convinced him to buy 300 level tickets front row above the Hit It Here Cafe in right field. And so I'm going to sit with him and come up with some kind of
He's your new Katie
gimmick or
Thurston.
something. Huh?
He's your new Katie
Yes.
Thurston.
Yes.
You're really downgrading your Katie Thurstons.
Give him a bloody nose. Give him a bloody nose. That'll get some attention.
If he marries a crowd work comic, I'd swear to God.
Well, he's into he's into the crowd. He's into the clout chase. He's cool with it. So
Okay.
Katie had to reprimand me too many times because I was featured in an article and I would post about it and I'd be like, oh my God, this is exciting. And she's like, ugh, get used to it. And I'm like, sorry. No one ever cared about me, so I find it exciting, but I will back away now that you hate everything. But yeah, I don't know. You think this guy's cornball and you hate him and you want to come.
I did not say
You
that at all.
typed so many mean things in the sheet about him, and
All I said was
All
I've
Casey
ever
said
said.
was he could run. He could play running back for the Seahawks. That's all. He said.
He could be Kenneth needs a walker. No, I mean, I actually, of all the guys, I was thinking about this. Who is so we have some kind of super fans in our region. Sadly, the one that's most famous is probably Sonic Sky. Rest in peace, Chris Brannon, a comic.
was he as famous at the moment, or is it the lore of him now that he's gone and he's on a mural everywhere?
I don't think many
or-
people talk about him now that he's gone. Frankly,
Right.
like I think at the time he was pretty I mean, especially like in Tacoma, he was huge. He lived in Tacoma.
The
But
sea fence guy, the big low.
Big Low.
He's got
Yeah,
like tattoos of like role players for the Mariners that they cut after a year.
That's great. That's amazing to have like an Alex Diaz back piece.
There's
He's got
Mr. and
a
Mrs.
fucking Rich
Seahawk.
Amaral on his chest.
Oh, Rich Amaral.
That's why I'm waiting on my Kenneth Walker tattoo. You know, I just want to make sure he's going to be around
gonna
for
be
a
on the
while,
team?
So, yeah.
What's your feeling on the super fan in general? Do you have strong positive or negative feelings?
I think it's cool.
You want to
have
chase the
fun.
clout, so you're scared to say anything negative. That's why you're like,
No,
you're like,
yeah.
keep Kenneth Walker, keep every player. I want everyone to be a happy family.
Mommy and Daddy, please stop fighting.
I was thinking
Yeah,
about
I
how
think
much
it's
smarter
fun.
it is for Adam Ray to just be friends with all these guys instead of talking about them leaving the team. Like that's
Yeah,
so much
right.
smarter than what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I mean, I think the fact that it happened organically to him is
Mm-hmm.
more of like,
Right.
now he bought the shirt and he flew to Detroit and he like sat in a random section. The ball just happened to
Yeah.
come to him. He seems nice. He's like a lonely guy, and so am I. So I could use another friend. Why are you trying to continue the male loneliness epidemic, Casey? That's the bigger question.
Hey, you're the one you're trying to talk yourself out of this relationship with him. I think he's fine. He took a picture with me at the game you and I both went to. I invited him to come to my comedy show the next night. He did not do it, so he's not that lonely.
Smart.
He's not lonely enough to come to a Casey McLean show. And that was by the way, if you want to
This
be
guy
lonely,
keeps
that's a
making
great place to be.
decisions on where to sit now. He just cannot pick wrong. The second home run ball came right to him in the playoff game that we went to. They bounced off of
Yeah.
his hands. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so crazy.
Super
Now,
fan
imagine
in
you sit in the
general-
300 level and a ball actually, somehow gets up there. Like, that'd be crazy,
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree that it's cool to have. Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand that having the time to be a super fan. That just seems wild to me. I look at the year and I go, can I make it to a game this year?
Yeah.
But we have different, there's different things going on in our lives, I suppose.
A lot of times, when you see the super fan, though, you're like, "When's the GoFundMe coming? We got to get a GoFundMe. It's they're gonna break in tow, like Andrew, and there'll be like I can't.
Get me to the Super Bowl. I'm starting to GoFundMe. The team needs me. I'm the best morale there is. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I've been aware because I was friends with Sonic's guy early before I did comedy even. And then I'm friends with a guy named Matt Mikolas that used to be on the morning show on KJR, and he would do the face paint and the hair before games
My cousin.
as Slick Hawk. Matt Mikolas is your cousin?
Nah,
Oh,
it's the same.
Michaelis. All right. You guys look a little different. I don't know if you've seen him before.
No, he's a friend from high school. I actually lost contact with him, and
He bought $600 worth of.
I think Casey, you should be a super fan. I think we've got to create an identity. You can be the super not fan. You should hold a sign at the games that say "running backs don't matter." Cut Kenneth Walker, and
Don't run the damn ball.
yes. Pass on the 1 yard line. Corey's already got that covered with his little TikTok video.
No,
but,
Terrell Davis was making $30 million a year when he won 2 straight Super Bowls with Denver, and they'd used the first overall pick on him, so I can understand where you're coming from. Teams that use high draft picks on running backs always do well, as we've seen from
Cut
Max
Saquon
Crosby.
Barkley. I mean, it's like, what did he jump, reverse, do a 360 spin over a guy trying to tackle him? Like, you could just find that in the 7th round,
I know
It's
it wasn't like Tank Bigsby was just as good as him in his absence, despite being cut by Jacksonville earlier in the year. Nothing like that happened. No, anyway,
This
we
year.
have plenty,
this is what
we
I'm
have plenty
saying.
of time to argue about this.
You got to be
All right.
the running backs don't matter super fan.
I'm way behind on that. There's other people that are holding that torch, but I'm happily walking behind them. I do agree that the once you've met the minimum requirements athletically to be a running back, who the running back is matters very little. The running game matters a lot, but like who that specific person is, there's 75 guys who could be pretty productive in that role. All right,
All right.
Trade
we'll
for
leave it
Tank
at that.
Bigsby.
I gotta go. Casey McLean Comedy. I'm going to be at
Tank for
Portland
tank.
Helium.
Tank for tank. Tank for tank.
Tank
Look
for
forward
tank.
to your scouting
I think
reports
he's a free
on
agent.
the upcoming draft. We should do a mock
dude.
draft and see who gets the most right.
This is how I literally did that last year. Like these are some of the most viewed videos on the channel. So we're
All right.
I will be doing that. We could do one as a team even. We could pull up a mock draft simulator and fucking Andrew knows none of these players. He knows they're good if the Seahawks pick them. He knows that much. But he's like
I called Abe Lucas. I called I forget who else, but
Well, you called him just to go to a Trump rally. That was
yeah, I was like, hey brother. that's gonna be my super fan. Mega Man. Yeah. It's the only dance I know how to do. So
are you gonna be somewhere locally, Andrew?
Renton IKEA Performing Arts Center of
He's just
Swedish
performing at an
meatballs.
IKEA.
Yeah. You have
We
to
haven't
build the jokes yourself, but I'll just give you the instructions.
When's that? Saturday. And then you're
Bend,
driving
Oregon, Sunday.
Yeah. Mukilteo
Woodinville.
next Thursday. You out there, Mukilteo? Come see me. I told them I'd promote the show. I thought they had it covered, but it's only 40 seats. I thought we would be good, but turns out they need help because it's me. So that's not. And then just come to an Everett show sometime. EverettComedy.com.
I'll be at Helium Portland with Gabriel Rutledge. Black Raven Brewing, where actually, Andrew, you tried to book me to open for you. And I'm like, oh, I'm glad I didn't accept it because I think the bookers would have been mad at me for taking the
No one
opening
would know.
gig 2 weeks earlier. Yeah, that's true. Smead's Pub in Washougal, Washington. And then I'll be at Tacoma Comedy Club 6th and Proctor with Jordan Fisher, March 20th and 21st.
All right.
All right. Bye, everybody. Hold on. Let's get this outro video, and then we will leave.